Remove the wheel, 21 millimeter socket, 14 millimeter socket or wrench. We're going to break the caliper slider pins free, top and the bottom. Flathead screwdriver or a pry bar. Just take your caliper off. Just moving it back and forth. There we go. Make sure you have no leaks. Everything looks good on the caliper piston side. I'm going to go ahead and push this back now so I don't have to deal with it in the future. You want to push it back so that the piston's flat against the seal. I just like to set it aside, up out of the way. 17 millimeter socket, and I'm going to take the 2 caliper bracket bolts off. So when the rotor's frozen on like this, you can take a hammer, but they also come with these beautiful little threaded holes in the actual hub of the rotor. So to try to minimize the damage that possibly could be done to studs or the hub on the other side, the wheel bearing hub, I am going to thread in. These are 8 by 125 bolts. That's the pitch that this rotor should be. 8 by 125, 13 millimeter socket. And I'm just gonna go back and forth and see if I can pop this off. Look at that. When you have an old hub like this and it's got rust on it, you definitely need to clean this up. You can use a wire wheel, wire brush. I'm going to use a little sandpaper on a whizzer. This is actually, it's like a scouring pad for the back of your sponge. I don't like to use the sandpaper ones because it actually cuts the metal and takes it with it. So I'm going to spray some copper anti-seize on the hub. That stops it from rusting. So I'm just going to put my rotor on. You can use a lug nut to bottom it out, make sure it stays on straight. So when you put the caliper on, it's not falling around. It will wobble around. So now we have our caliper bracket with the front pads in it. We're going to take the pads out, tins out, and free up these sliders. It looks like someone had just done a brake job pretty recently. And I'm going to show you why they failed, why the brakes probably wore out the first place. So when they did this brake job, they didn't clean these sliders. They're frozen in there. That's not good. Let's see if I can free them up without a vise. Let's see if I can pull on them while I spin them at the same time. Wow. Those need some cleaning. Make sure the boot doesn't get torn. If it does tear, if these boots are torn, you need new ones. You cannot reuse the old ones because water will get in there. Just like that. We need new boots. Water gets in there. See the rust form right there? No matter how much you clean or lube it up, water's going to get in there. That slider is not going to slide. There we go. Work smarter, not harder. So now you'll see that one of the pins has this rubber seal on it. So mark it right away which one had the seal on it because you want to put it back in that spot. So I'm going to just take a yellow marker and mark this slider because that goes to the one with the boot. Let's do the same on this. Okay, once your sliders are cleaned and ready to go in with more grease, we're going to add these slider tins. So the way they go is the high side goes to the back and the short side goes to the front. But first thing we're going to do is add a slight thin coat of caliper grease under the tins, not on top. Some people put it on top. My reasoning is it collects all the sand and it sticks to it. So, does it make sense to me? But you do you. So I put the inner side in first, then I push forward this way and down. Same on the other side, same on all four. So inner side. There you go. Hardware comes with two indicators. These are the pad indicators for the wear. Both pads are identical. There's nothing from inner and outer, but we're going to put the squealers on the correct way. And they say the average, the correct way to do it is the way the rotor is going to be going. So if this pad is in the front and the rotor is spinning this way coming into it, you want to put the indicator on the top. So you're going to clip that right in, just like that. It's a spring and an indicator on both pads. So if they're facing this way, brackets going on this way, put the indicator on the top. So you can have the option of putting the pads on first and then putting the bracket in, or you could put the bracket in, then put the pads on. It's up to your preference. Sometimes with the rotor there, it helps once you pop it in, it seats it in, instead of it falling in and out and twisting. So I'm going to do it that way. Put the caliper bracket in place, 2 mounting bolts. Start them by hand. 17 millimeter socket or wrench, and I'm just going to bottom them out. That way I can torque them to the manufacturer's spec. Torque the caliper bracket to knuckle is 72 foot-pounds. It's so much easier to do without the caliper on also. So now we can put our pads in. I'm going to put the spring load up on the top first. Try to make my life a little easier. We'll see. They have to go in and snap in at an angle. So that's the easiest way to do it. Go in like this, line both slots up, and then try to turn it in. Make sure those clips are inside on that slider pins. Now we can put our caliper on the bracket. Mounting hardware comes with it. These are 14 millimeter socket or wrench. The inner slider is a 17 millimeter wrench. And we're going to torque these to manufacturer's specification. Factory specs is 25 foot-pounds. I'll put the wheel on. Start your lug nuts by hand. Snug them down in the star pattern, or crisscross. And we'll lower it and torque it to factory specs. 21 millimeter socket. Wheel torque is 76 foot-pounds. And you're going to tighten in a star pattern. Double check. Now you can pump your brakes and just make sure that pedal is firm and not sinking.